Okay, so today I wanted to do a Season 5 overview for the Legends, Bloodhound, Bangalore and Wraith. And just have a look at where they're at, what could be better, what could be worse, all those good things. So my name's Draclaw44, welcome very much back to the channel. I hope you are all keeping very well and safe today. Now, what I'm going to be doing is just talking through each legend, sort of just giving a bit of my thoughts, kind of what could be better about them in regards to, are there some weaknesses that maybe are glaring, and some strengths that really make this legend excel in every way. But before we get into it, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, let's get into talking about the legends. Now, the first one I wanted to actually talk about on this occasion is Bloodhound, because I got a clip where he goes into Beast of Hunt, which I quite liked, and I feel that it really kind of fulfills the elements of his main character, aside from the tracking and, of course, the scan. Without further ado, let's get into that clip. Okay, so of course, Bloodhound, where do I think he's at regarding Season 5? I think he's in a very, very good place. Bloodhound is really an amazing character now. The projection and the radius of his scan is really handy for especially things like ranked, but even in casual play is amazing. His tracking is not bad, but it is probably the worst thing about him, apart from the sound of his ult, which is so loud. Now, the one thing that I will say is that a couple of improvements that I do wish that they'd make to the character. One is when you scan in Beast of the Hunt, you can't see anything, and sometimes you can't see anything anyway, so I'd love them to fix that. And the noise level. The only other thing about Beast of the Hunt is that you do get some lag. Now, I don't know whether this is just because I play on console, but I feel like, you know, I'm shooting and I feel like there is a kind of a bit of a delay in certain respect, which is a shame really, because he is a very, very good sort of character. I think he's in a very good place. He is an asset to any team, I feel, and Bloodhound is very, very good at, you know, giving you that intel. The scan is very good for that. So yes, sometimes when he scans out, the kind of projection radius that he gives, unfortunately doesn't always pick up enemies, and they might still be nearby, but just not within the scan, and then they turn up out of nowhere. But, you know, at the end of the day, unfortunately, that is just one of those things that you can't avoid. Beast of the Hunt, I feel like that's probably his biggest weakness, and it's also a strength. The lag that you experience with Beast of the Hunt can be very frustrating. There is a delay. I don't know whether that is just console, but it feels like everything goes into a kind of a slow-mo, and you just feel like you're walking around and everything reactionary isn't happening in the same way. But regarding Beast of the Hunt, I mean, the only thing I would love to kind of see would be, you know, maybe a sort of like slightly quietening it down a little bit. Not too much, because obviously that's part of the character, but just kind of, you know, making it so it was a little bit reduced in the noise level, and then basically maybe reducing the amount of time per knockdown a little bit, maybe to compensate. So maybe he only gets like 3 seconds extra for every knockdown, or 3.5 or something like that. You know, it would balance out the character. I don't want Bloodhound to be too powerful or anything. I want every single legend to be exceptionally viable in both competitive, ranked and non-ranked. Whether that'll ever happen, who knows, but I do feel like he's probably the strongest he's ever been. That extra projection for the scan is absolutely amazing, and yeah, he's definitely a really, really, really solid legend. So the next one, of course, is Bangalore. Now, you can see some footage playing in the background, of course, and good old Banga, she is a very, very solid character. Personally, I think she's in a very good place. Is she very exciting to play? No, actually she's not. She's very generic sort of soldier, kind of very, you know, let's get people killed, blah, 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 but very, very sort of competent in what she can do. She's got the smokes that you saw in the background. They last a long time. Is that a good thing? Yeah, it gives you a lot of cover. Unless you've got a digital threat, sure, I mean, that's a little bit different, but generally speaking, you're going to be a very, very good place with her. She has the ultimate, which is probably her weakness. Now, her ultimate is very slow. Rolling Thunder just feels like it has absolutely very little impact. True, it does have its elements when, say, like you're reviving. Someone can throw down an ultimate while you're getting the revive, or being revived if you're knocked down, and, you know, by the time the person's revived, usually you get hit by the blast. That has happened to me in ranked a few times recently. So in that way, it is okay. However, you know, the impact it has, yes, it makes people back off, which is fine, but it doesn't scare people enough. They do need to look at that. And I think that is probably the biggest thing with Bangalore, because I feel like with her, she's a very, very good legend in what she can do. I feel like she's in a place where, yeah, she's competent at the kind of the things you're asking her to do. Like I said, she's not exciting to play, but she's a good team asset. She can smoke out to give people cover for healing, reviving, for her own cover, those sort of things. Her passive is, of course, amazing, which is the next point I wanted to make. So, of course, the passive doesn't need changing. At the end of the day, that one boosts her speed. She moves very fast. She's able to actually, move quicker. Saves being shot at. It's kind of like a mini speed boost, which kind of is what Bloodhound has when he beats the hunt. He gets a movement increase, but he's very loud. Bangalore gets that passively, which is absolutely fine. And Octane, of course, also gets a speed boost, as we all know, with the stem and all that. But again, he makes a lot of noise when he's using it. Bangalore doesn't. You kind of can hear maybe a little bit, but it's a lot quieter. So why is hers quieter but the others aren't? That's my only thing. I know there's a difference in the way that they do it, but, that was always a question. But Bangalore, as a whole, a very, very overall good character. Now, she is supposed to be getting buffed for Season 6, so the rumours tell us. How accurate or how true that is, who knows? We've got not a clue in a million years. We don't know. And that's the only thing I would say with that is that we don't know what that is going to be. So, we just kind of look at it and just say, well, at the end of the day, if she gets a slight buff to her ultimate, which is probably the one area that she needs, then we're okay. And I do feel that, like with Bloodhound, Bangalore, both legends so far are really, really good. I mean, Bloodhound, he's just in such a good place right now. I mean, do you feel like he needs any more buffs? He probably doesn't, truthfully. I mean, I guess it's just being picky, It would just be nice to see a little less lag on the Beast of the Hunt, and of course, a little bit less noise. The only other thing I will say with Bloodhound, actually going back to him briefly, is of course that with the scan, I would love to be able to do it whilst you're healing. With Mirage, you can throw out a decoy while you're healing up, which is very useful. Bloodhound can't do it. I assume it is because, of course, of the animation where he uses one hand to press a kind of a pad, and of course that kind of is the way. With Bangalore, I think that she's just overall very, very generic but very good. She does everything that you want. So that's my thoughts with Bangalore. I think she's a great legend. If she sees any buffs, I think she'll be super, super strong, but that's the way. Right, well, the next one then, of course, as you can see in the background, is Wraith. Starting off with the portal, I suppose. Now, this is slightly older footage, so the portal went a little further than, of course, it does now. Does it really hurt her? No, it doesn't. As regards to actually the portal, it's still very handy for getting out of sticky situations, which is why she's so popular and why she's so damn good. In ranked, it can get you out of a sticky situation at times. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out and you can run into, 50 squads. They literally follow you down the portal. Not much you can really do. So yes, her portal is extremely good, extremely useful, and extremely beneficial to any team that she's with. This is why she's such a good legend, and so highly picked, so highly popular. One of the best legends overall, and of course, she's got the highest pick rate in the game. Absolutely amazing. Now, I would say that, like with any legend, she's got maybe the odd little flaw, but generally speaking, she's very, very strong. So the next part then, of course, is her Into the Void, which is very, very strong since the rework. I do think that Into the Void is amazing. In Season 5, when they kind of changed it at a certain point, which was sort of due to the collection event, they actually made it 25 seconds, which is amazing. And yes, it's a little bit slower to activate. But did that hurt her? No, it did not. It made her still a very, very overall good legend. She can reposition you can get out of bad situations. Yeah, you got to be a little bit more preemptive with it. So you've got to know you're in a bad situation rather than just use it as a panic button. But I think it adds a slightly higher skill cap to that element. Not as much as some legends like Crypto or Mirage and people like that, or legends like that. But however, I definitely think that made a difference. Is it very good? Yeah. I mean, would I give it 10 out of 10 if I was rating it? Absolutely. Into the Void as well. I mean, the shorter distance for what she got, I don't think is at all a bad thing. Into the Void, I would say definitely probably her best part for her personally. The portal's useful as a team asset, which is why she's used so much in ranked. A lot of players swear by Wraith, and I'm really not that surprised, to be honest. Her passive, Into the Voices, I won't go into too much detail with that. Really, it's pretty lame. I mean, okay, you can tell that someone's taking a shot, but overall, it's probably her weakest asset, but I think they should keep it like that. I don't think she really needs any changes at all for Season 6. I don't really feel like she needs anything, to be honest, because I just think she's in a really, really good place, and of course, a very, very good overall legend. So what did you guys think? Do you think that Bloodhound is in a really good place? Do you think there's anything that maybe he needs to have changed, apart from what I've mentioned? Anyone that isn't a Bloodhound main, is there anything that you have problems with, or find a nightmare with him? His hitbox, for example. I mean, I'm sure that Bloodhound mains probably say his head is too big. I agree. But is that something? Is Bangalore, does anything need to be changed except for maybe her ultimate? And with Wraith, is there anything that needs to be changed, or are you Wraith mains kind of happy? Put it this way, I would say that all three of them are extremely viable in ranked, competitive, and of course casual play. These three legends are very super strong, and they're very, very good indeed. But that is it from the video. So if you did like it, please, a like really helps me out, and if you want to subscribe, of course, always helps as well. But do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. But that is it from me for this particular video. I shall of course see you in the next one. You have a great rest of the afternoon, day or evening. You take care. Cheers now. See ya. Bye.